I mean, listen, frankly, talk about the individuals they're going to have to rely on. Joda is one of those guys that we were talking about that has some more left in his wheelhouse. But, I mean, already 9 HP, already tinked down. Tomas can't take down the vent. Oh, my God, he's jumping, and he can't quite hit the ladder rung, but eventually lands his 2 feet square. But Noxie's got the cutoff. It seems like they've got an idea of it.
Headshots galore as the bomb goes down, but look at the amount of inks done onto the CT side. Just one player with max health or close to it, but Levi still finds another headshot, pushes in a Luchov, and there's the double kill. That's the kill that should break open this round, and SHZ can't even convert. Luchov gets off the reload, and it's just Urbano down into double, alone with no time, and it's the ace for Luchov. Caught in no man's land, but he stands and delivers. And with that, time for Bestia to start making some moves. Timo start moving into the mini position, or at least trying to. And Joda actually capitalizes. That's the go button down ramp side. And this B bomb side should be open for business.
Noxie may get a couple extra bucks here. Seen actually in recent games that Noxie is willing to go for the double AWP setup and call that, knowing that he's proficient on the weapon more so than the rifle. There are instances where that can be reliable, but unreliable. Tucked position from the IGL finds him dead to the floor and finds maybe this round dead to rights for the unemployed, who can now run them through. They can use their numbers game. A flashbang goes a little wider than Luchov. Payson also only minimally blinded, but everyone will fall as the entrance from the top side of the ramp is also sublime. Everybody gets the kills required, and they lose honest and truthfully minimal numbers to what could very well have come down to a 1v1 wire. But no, the only wires are being cut, and the round is over with a defusal, and it's 1-1.
Very odd. Very odd that they would not show any outside presence, but it's the inner site that's the point of attack. The Bestia hits it at 180 from Timo. Headshot converted. Tomo gets another trade in, but Levi still standing strong with that AWP. I say that he gets toppled by his counterpart. Luchov with another, and it's all up to Barton to try and clutch up in the 1-on-3, but Bestia with a smooth A-side execution.
One for the books, perhaps, as far as Nuke is concerned. Get themselves an upgrade or two here and there. Everyone with AKs by the finish. The spread of fully automatic rifles also efficient. SMG at the lead. Tomasin, the man, the myth. Fire burns him, flash misses the wall, and it'll actually potentially have gotten one of these players killed because the op has full vision. The rifle can swing off the side of the silo, and Kaysen, that one missed flash costs you not only your teammate's life, but the chance at playing for a clutch as the numbers overwhelm, and Bestia fall flat once more.
Essentially just stranded in no man's land here.
Something that they're not entirely unfamiliar with. Joda just gets his vision back seconds after Luchov wanted to make the lurk, doesn't turn his attention over towards that mini side, and Levy not that far off with the entirely opposite spectrum of weapon, the AWP to take the range duels, but they're already out, they're already in, and the sight holder and anchor has been dispatched of as Levy looks to activate. It's Kaysen who's posted on his angle, and this is about as good as it'll get following an early round kill from Joda. They've gotten themselves a bomb plant and should be a save forced.
With that, they turn their attention back to this A bomb site. A little bit of utility being tossed in, and SHZ going to have to be up to bat here on this topside anchor position.
Oh, speaking... Oh! I'm needing to be solid and stable. Urbano with a triple. What a hold. Kaysen spiraling down into the lower bomb site, not in panic, but in desperation. I can't believe a 4K in total. Urbano does it all. Kaysen will escape the line of sights of the ramp player as well as from single, and they now need to know that surely he's gone in this direction. The audio crew has been hurt, or you would have thought the bomb is being stopped. Oh. Joda, he's losing teammates left and right, but he's got coverage, and not bodies, but in infrastructure, and ace for Kaysen. But even so, it'll matter not. As far as the round win is concerned, they'll take that, but the money's still very much so down in the dumps for both teams.
Little bit of an overcook there from Bestia. I feel like you have that upper execution coming through. You have no real information of what's going on downstairs. You go into the waiting arms of Urbano, but Cassin nearly makes a round out of it, man. I mean, the defuse doesn't actually take the bite, but it's this upper execution once again, just an upper pop. What have you with a couple of flashes. Well placed trades are solid, and Cassin will confirm the 2-on-2. Another player stuck in mini here, and Joe to the spams just off the mark. And Barton will make his appearance in heaven. It's just a matter of timing as Cassin turns away. And the bomb still doesn't hit the dirt. Re-smoke up in the mini. So again, it's on to Barton to see if he can kind of open things up here. But these fake bomb plants are causing a little bit of concern for me. But Cassin will still find his man. And Barton manages to get down safely. But Cassin has a chance to reorient his crosshair.
Should they logically lose out here, he'll get that sniper rifle. Oh, no! Levy! Tomasin! They've traded places. Tomasin turns around, about faces the footsteps, but he's being encroached upon. Everyone is launched into his angle, and the AK-47 is procured. It's Noxy who looks to sniff things out, but spacing a little awkward. Doesn't want to lose his head here, but one elevates themselves. Noxy pumps the brakes, and Levy now exits lobby entirely.
Yeah, a little bit of risky here to retake lobby in this circumstance, but they won't actually be punished. I say that Levi swings out of the hut and finds himself a quick double. Completely tosses this round into chaos, and Urbano will find one more with the scooped up AK. Dink found on a Timo makes this clutch nigh impossible. How the tables have turned here, Tony. You say that the round is unwinnable, or less than ideally winnable.
Yeah.
And it just gets flipped on its head. Timo will abscond to the CT spawn, and 2 AKs. I'm assuming a third can also be recovered for Joda eventually.
Levy just floating around the map with the AK-47 he had been given. And now in the last, he does get his sniper rifle, but what he doesn't get is very much competition on the other side of it. He's going to love that, and Joda's going to love the fact that he's being so very accurate in these moments where there is a split second where the players are being seen, a smoke that he can span through on a feeling and on a timing. If you give it to Joda, he'll take it, and he'll run with it. A third kill, and the outside is his today, because this half is looking to be finished off, even if they do get down with that bomb.
He still got that swagger, Tony. He still has the dog in him.
Oof.
Cassin still gets a kill downstairs. And Timo is here available as well, but they've swarmed this B bomb site, and a double face there from the CT side leads the unemployed.
We won't hold it against you, Noxy, if you win the series, but that's got to be the only stipulation here, pal. We've got them already now having to fend off an A-site hit. More of the dual Berettas being shined off, and Tomasin being given time to stay alive and maybe even take further fights, but Luchov will finish his meal. And Kaysen, he may get everything on this as Joda's being a bit blocked by his teammate amidst the vent. SHZ eventually gets the hell out of the way and opens up gangway for that bomb to be planted on B, sits inside the vent, awaits Kaysen's arrival, and finishes the job to leave Timo with 2 guns and 2 players to find, and very low HP on the both of them. One at the silo, the other at the door, and neither that great of a threat to Timo, so it would seem a tap to the bomb would elicit the duel. I would only assume he closes the door, and if there is to be some sneaky business, it's going to have to be a little loud. SHZ is going to need to either A, bite the bait, or realize that maybe sometimes pros do fake, and when they do, he may have just gotten himself the ticket home. SHG swings the door, Timo exposed, and the clutch is finished off, but it was scary through and through. A Molotov to top hut, no utility whatsoever for the defenders to lock them out. So Molly after Molly, sound cue after sound cue. Fully blinded, regains vision after having peppered in damage without vision, making it look a little awkward even so with damage from the scout tags. Another USP to be pulled, and another 1v2 that someone's going to have to finish, and although it might not be Timo to go for it this time, Joda reads the situation for the vent drop, and Kaysen with the 1 versus 3 in the matter of seconds in the scout.
And with that, a lifeline given over to the Argentinian squad. Awkward purchase here for the T side as now they're in double eco territory themselves, and they'll go charging into the ramp, into Timo's waiting arms. Barton finds one, but Timo trying to capitalize and find himself a triple, make it a quad kill. What a sequence there from Timo, stepping up when it matters most. which is nice to have as far as info is concerned. You know that they're actually turning their attention to the outside smoke wall. Blown open smoke goes Cassin. The spam is just off the mark, but the Tech-9 completes. And that's the opening 5v4 for the Opera. And he clotheslines Joda as well, upgrade into the AK-47. And Bestia are revving to the life off the back of some heroics here from Cassin.
Yeah, it doesn't stop though. I mean, it's almost like you expect it to come their way at some given point in these rounds that Kaysen will have his name enter the feed. And Timo, he's just feeling a little bit brazen there, and SHZ hits his scroll wheel key, but plot armor seems to keep him alive for at least one kill longer. All right.
XW7M were able to build on that CT side. It's kind of washed away. And the favorites now storm back convincingly.
Both of those things weren't really in full swing this map. And relying on Kaysen for the win, like a win is a win, but that's something they're going to need to look back on this map as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm completely with you there.
There he is.
There's got to be extra win conditions, and that is an extra one right there. Toma, who's been fairly quiet as far as this map is concerned, trying to rev up towards the tail end here. SHZ finds an entry over into this upper bomb site, and he gets another one, tries to push Toma to the back of the site, and now it's just SHZ who's gonna have to step up massively as to swing back over to heaven, and can't convert. Bestia still hold on. They retain 2 AKs, and Cassin's getting frisky. He's getting curious into the lobby. This is a matter of mere moments, and Toma has found himself one. Once that execution comes down, he catches a player on the ladder but doesn't pull the trigger. Cassin instead has to pick up the pieces, and as he falls, Toma has to rise. 2v2, flash in his face, but he still takes out Urbano, switches over to the AWP, and Tomazin's got himself a quad. There's the highlight that you wanted, Tony.
This time he hasn't really even been called upon once. I mean, as far as like needing Luchov to do anything, I feel like that hasn't been the case. I don't really think there's been a time where I could point the finger at him and be like, what are you doing, man? Noxie goes down though here. Luchov now actually kind of happens to be the man. What a fadeaway shot! An absolute dinger onto the only outside player without an AK-47 and Joda, and then Levy immediately following Kaysen as quick as you'd like. Second, I thought was on the mark and the money, but he and Tomasin shoulder to shoulder should be enough to finish this round and put them on the map point. Oh my lord, Luchov. Poke and prod in other directions. These three now grouped up. Have only Kaysen to deal with in a really weird spot for him to stick. And there's Barton's kill. It's Mawson's the back, though.
Yeah, and then they're going to take that map control right back. It's all the Cassin. A rare miss from him, though, and that might cost them the round. I mean, he's had a hell of a game. That could have been kill number 30, but to no avail. Tomas are going to be ahead of this and only finds one. 2v2 to ensue. And this fight here on the double doors could be everything. Damage going back both ways, but damn, bullets not connecting. Finally, Timo will strike. He knows where Urbano is, and he nails the shot on 1 HP. And that'll do it, folks. Bestia with a come-from-behind win here on their own map pick of Nuke. It gave them a little bit of time as they kickstart things off on this offense.
Yeah, I do wonder if that is by design. I wonder if that fear or that willingness to, or that unwillingness to be the one to make a potential mistake is in their minds. And right now, topside mid, oh my god, just creamed. There's not even a second between the kills, it feels like, between SHC finding he's just thrown the smoke and then realizing that he's amidst the 1 versus 5. An insurmountable one at that.
Lovely work from Timo,
This is exactly what I was talking about with them just feeling no fear to run them down on CT. I don't like to see it this early for the sake of, for split seconds soon. Harnessed into a mid-B split, so it would look like Joda turns attention as soon as that nade hits off of the wall. So you can see his presence of mind is still very much there. A crab walk around, Boston uncleared. He's got the first, already having bypassed, and Joda knows not of his position in the slightest, and Kaysen can cover his cross. This one is so very well played from Tomasin, and honestly, so very interestingly played from the communication lines of BESTIA across the board.
Oh, Toma, man.
Yet to frag our 3 players on the team right now, so a good installation of confidence into a player even like SHC, given that last map wasn't exactly beautiful from them individually, would be really nice. HE goes well set. Flashbang's a little bit better placed, I would say, from XW7M, though, and a whiff spray from Noxie with half full vision. Kaysen, what an adjustment! Oh my lord, the cross is given over thanks to the smoke, and it may actually finish the job onto one more of these defenders, and Kaysen's being given a lot of responsibility now. He's long lurking, is eventually probably going to have to start ticking in the back of his mind, but no, both players confirmed. Joda heard or seen just amidst one of these two smokes moments go by, and his teammate may be susceptible to the frag, and no, Joda's not at all ready for it. Barton, he has the bomb planted for him, but now the weapon for the job. That was still a little scary. They get that bomb plant, they get some cash, they get a little bit of that exact confidence I'm talking about with SHC on the double, but now they're going to need to convert it into actual kinetic energy.
I do need to see a little bit more gumption in their lurks. I do think that they're a little too slow. And that's a nice little nade there that sets up Cassin for an opening 5v4. This CT side is looking sublime, to say the least. And now you've got Luchov getting curious into the lower position. He's going to spot 4 heads, but he can't even topple 1. SHZ with that instant trade back, and we're into the 4v4. And Bestia now tasked with figuring out how to play this man-even situation.
Bursting out on the AK-47 is a good look for at least finding Timo.
Shoulder peeking here and basically alerting his trusty sidekick in Cassin. And there's even a flash prime to let Noxie let that rifle sing, and he'll get his first. Cross smoke is through, but the jig is up, and the T side will be found out. They'll nade open the smoke just for good measure, and Noxie finally having a little bit more of something to say individually here on Dust 2. And Levi will back away as 7 seconds are left on the clock, and Bestia will continue to keep this clean sheet alive and have 6 rounds to the good here on Dust 2. Thick as a deep cut. Now, what can he bestow upon his youngsters on the T side? Whatever it is, it's not being received very well. The CT side's doing a phenomenal job at holding this man advantage in their own favor. As yes, Luchov goes down, but he's that player that you can continuously let off the leash and give chances for players like Cassin to continue putting on the hurt. And he's just having a absolute shooting gallery in the middle of the map.
Bestia.
I've been doing Bestia for a while. Anyways.
I'll fix it, but I don't know if they'll be able to fix what's gone wrong right now. Because again, the shutout shut down it long. They have guns, Paladin. They had guns. They had the tools of destruction, of mass destruction even. There's a full belt of utility on Urbano at a 2 versus 5 at a minute 25.
You got 3 players on 1 death apiece.
Good God.
And Timo is saying, you know what, I'll give them something to chew on here. 1 death taken, but a beautiful little jiggle there from Cassin. It just lives to tell the tale. He'll be able to stand and fight here with this AWP. Noxie gun goes dry, but that's where Cassin can strike jump up from Noxie. That's a little overzealous. But Cassin's still here to hit every single shot. He actually hits that one as well, I thought. Timo is there from the long side. Luchov to chime in as well. Bestia are a force to be reckoned with. Sitting right here on the ramp, that can just be nuked into the catwalk position. If they want to cat XE again, they're going to get blown to smithereens.
Oh, so much damage from that molly on Urbano too. 1 HE. Have another.
Bye-bye.
You thought I was finished? You thought it was over? And there's boom! I thought that was gonna be the kill onto him as well. Nice flash setup too. Wait, I'm stealing that one, but it won't matter. Noxie still dropped. A 3 versus 3.
Oh, hold on.
This is weird.
Very weird. And Luchov will just clothesline Levi. SAG chiming in, and the crunch is in from Barton. It's all up to Cass, who's had a hell of a map. The no-scope connects. 15 seconds left. No smoke to cross. Barton's just going to have to send it over across to the cross, and he's just trying to get the bait out, but the swing is too far. Cassin capitalizes the 1v2, 19-2, 11-0 for Bestia.
Smoke at the corner does allow for him to play around the other side of it, confirming no one has yet made their way through on the journey.
And they'll go back into the middle of the map. They're going to go back to Catwalk, and this time Timo's playing ahead. He wants a duel before they cat execute, and Cassin's there to chime in from the long side. It's just Joda and Barton, and make it just Barton. He's gonna try his hand at crossing it long, but again, man, it's not gonna happen. Cassin ends the half with 21 kills.
Probably for good reason, seeing as now Urbano has to fall off and away. He can call for that flash. That'll be pretty nice, but they've read it. They've not actually gone all too far up in the scaling. And Luchov in mid, despite being tested and dinked down, gushed up, actually pulls the rotation well enough, but SHG sticks his ground, sticks to the corner, needed more than one, needed to find the multi, and needed someone else to step up by his side after the fact, and all of it flushed away, and it's the 13-0. I'm saying it. Joda, if you want to prove me wrong, it would be generational, but the only thing right now that's generational is the amount of talent overwhelming from the side of BESTIA.